Welcome, Collider fans, to the Walking Dead recap show. The episode is called Now. The show is called The Walking Dead. It's episode 5, season 6. So much happened and so much didn't happen. It was an awesome show. Maybe a little bit slow, but just so much was going on with all the characters. A lot of storylines were delved into further. So it was a great time. I'm John Rocha, one of your hosts for this next however long we're going to go, and I'm joined by these amazing hosts as well. Let's meet them now before we get going. If you want to join our conversations, make sure you hashtag Collider Walking Dead and comment as you're watching the show. We read them. We do that. That's what we do here on the show. Yeah. To my left.
What's up, guys? Dope intro, by the way.
Thank you.
Crushed it.
I'm Quinn Marie. Rick's back. Beard's coming in. All's right in the world. Stoked to talk about it.
Props to your shirt, by the way. Go back to her shirt, guys.
Hey-o.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Badass. Love
Thanks.
it.
Rick.
Yep. Hey, everyone. I'm Kaori Takee. I'm ready to talk some Walking Dead. The end.
The end.
And on the far right here.
Oh,
End of
hey guys,
sentence.
me, Josh Macuga. I spent most of this episode doing a lot of research, a lot of prepping. This was a prep episode, a prep-episode, if you will.
Wow.
You're welcome.
That's good.
guys.
It's good.
I didn't even notice that you were doing that.
Yeah.
Actually, he didn't. He
We'll
just spent
see.
the entire episode saying long spears.
Yes.
Long
Spears,
spears.
guys. Long spears.
He was obsessed with the Braveheart tactics to stab into the
Spears.
zombies
Just
from the wall.
spears.
Hashtag long spears.
Yes. Yeah. He's obsessed with the long sticks. All right. So,
Hey, yo.
All right.
so much to talk about. So much happened in this episode. I think the main thing is probably what? Maggie? And the whole thing of Glen? And then the dictatorship and all. So let's get to the Maggie thing. What do you think about that, Kaori?
I mean, that's actually in one of my positives, but I guess
Okay.
we'll talk.
Yeah, just talk about it.
I
Just
think
get into
it's
it.
good that we developed Maggie's character and her relationship with, what's his name again?
Aaron?
Aaron?
Aaron.
Glenn?
Yeah, Aaron.
Yeah, and it's nice that she is the final link for us to figure out whether Glenn's dead or not. I know most people think he's dead. He probably is dead, but there's a chance that the producers might come up with something insane.
Right.
Insane, and he might be survived. Who knows?
Don't you think they're messing with us now, fucking with us now?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
they had her have the breakdown and reaction in the sewer,
Yeah.
and then they had her go and wipe off the name,
Yeah.
start to wipe off the name. So
And
Just the sewer thing in itself.
Yeah.
When they were like, oh, there's a secret sewer, and then blah, blah, blah. I was like, sewer.
Yeah.
But
and
that wasn't it.
took his name out of the credits.
Yeah,
They're
he's
messing
not
with
there.
us real
The second
hard.
episode,
in
as you
fact, yeah,
pointed
2
out.
episodes in a row now. Yeah.
I honest, they're starting to mess with us now.
Yeah,
Oh,
don't you
for
think
sure.
so?
Yeah, he hasn't been on. He hasn't appeared anywhere.
Right.
His name isn't in the credits. It's just become a game of can we prove the internet right or wrong? That's where we are.
Now we feel like Maggie. We're anticipating,
Yeah.
trying to figure out whether he's dead or not,
Yeah,
or whether we
right.
should move on with our lives and forget about Glenn. Who knows? But
Oh, what are the other things you liked about the show? This episode, right?
this episode, man, I think overall it was a pretty decent episode,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of pieces that just didn't fit for me.
Okay. Oh, so you want to get to the negatives? Or
No.
Let's,
No.
Let's jump to, okay.
Yeah.
Josh?
Well, I'll stick on the positives.
Sure.
I'm a
Yeah.
positive
That's what I'm
guy.
saying.
You do
What the
this.
heck? These last 2 episodes have been expositionary, and I think
Somebody
they're-
look that up.
Yeah,
That's
Go
big
ahead.
You're the
word.
Shakespearean gentleman.
That's not a Shakespeare
Thus
word.
forth shall go expositionary.
Expositionary. Yes.
A lot of symbolism in the exposition and foreshadowing, as well as other words I learned in 9th grade English. I think that this episode was sort of like all of the politicians went into the race, right? And a lot of the politicians lost, and they're dealing with what they have to do now. Now that they've lost, and what they do are what kind of pieces they can pick up along the way to still be relevant in Alexandria. So you have the creepy kids, Jesse's
creepy, angsty
kids,
kids,
Ron,
yes.
Ron and
Ron and Bullcut,
Yeah, Bullcut.
Yeah.
whatever his
Yeah.
name is.
Future serial killer.
Yes.
Yes.
And then you've got Coral.
Coral.
And what? Because I'm telling you, there's something that is going on with the street youths of Alexandria. They're street toughs. They're hanging out on their corner, and something bad is going to happen. Like we're not expecting something from them, right? And something's going to happen. And I thought every scene that they were in, whether it was Jesse's, whether it was Rick, that was the strongest scene of this episode.
Oh, wow. really?
Yeah, because something weird is going to happen.
Okay.
You never expect it. It's like in the final season of The Wire, spoiler alert, when Omar gets killed. And you don't know. You don't know.
I'm in the middle of the first season.
Oh,
Dude,
God.
that show was 10 years old. I'm sorry if I
Dude.
spoiled it.
Dude.
Get over and watch The Wire.
Spoiler fail, dude.
But
Spoiler fail. Yeah.
We're getting to that point right now because the first 3 episodes of this season were action packed. They
Yeah,
were
yeah.
die hard. These last 2 were a Coen Brothers movie. They were like the first 30 minutes of a Coen Brothers movie. Not much dialogue, all action that set up for another 2.5 hours of movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think this struck me when Ron asked Rick to teach him how to shoot,
Yeah.
and Rick gave him a gun? I have a feeling that's going to be the confrontation. He's basically going to teach Ron indirectly to confront
kill
Carl
him.
and possibly have a shot. Shoot
I
Carl.
mean, I'm predicting that Ron is gonna have issues with Carl because not only
Yeah.
was his boo kind of jacked from Carl a little bit, but
Jacked
also
his boo.
Jacked his boo.
Somebody
You like
hashtag
how I
that.
did it with the proper grammar.
All of a
And-
sudden, Corey's introducing Twitter slang into
got-
The Walking Dead.
she got turned.
But
She
I
got
mean,
turned.
also we got Rick getting on with his mom.
Yeah.
So
Jesse, yeah.
it's suddenly new daddy. It's gonna be tough for Carl.
Man, Ron was
Carl.
having issues with that 2-3
Yeah.
episodes ago since the beginning of the season. What about you? What did you like, Quinn?
I liked that Rick's back. Woohoo!
Yes.
I actually liked Deanna. She is losing so many screws. Watching her kind of fall apart in this episode. Ugh.
What did I say when we were watching? I was like, "This is Hillary." After she found out about Monica Lewinsky,
Yeah, like
she's walking around.
You did. Josh
Yeah.
made a 90s
Alexandria.
reference, and
Yeah.
you should get credit for that. Thanks,
No, and
guys.
it was a super accurate depiction. Like, yes,
Yeah.
agreed.
Yes.
Right?
But yeah, I don't watching her. That was interesting. Like
Yeah, but-
something's going on with her. I don't know. She's like on the brink of losing it or making a turn.
And you know what the
shift.
makeup artist
Yeah.
did perfectly? They put like the balloons on the side of her hair and then
totally.
sprayed out
She
the
was
hair a little bit,
disheveled
like
as
the
hell.
crazy bedhead.
Yeah.
Oh man, she
And
looks.
those neck veins.
Oh, she looks terrifying.
Girl.
Oh,
we
man.
should talk about that too, because that's a great point you bring up. It seems like they wrapped it up by the end because she is fighting back.
Yeah.
dude,
And she
I-
says to Rick, "I want to live." When a majority of the episode, she looked like she was going to kill herself
Well,
or
for
just
a while,
walk
yeah.
into the zombies and just die.
Yeah, you didn't know what she was going to do the
Right.
entire. Every time she was in a scene, I didn't know what she was going to do.
Right.
And
Right.
also too, we don't realize from the end of season 5 until right now,
Yeah.
it's only been about 5 days total, because
Right.
you know what I mean. Like, so she's lost her husband,
Yeah.
half the town,
Yeah.
and almost died herself, all within a 4 or 5 day
And
period.
her kid blames her for it.
Right.
Correct.
That's
Her
a
drunk
thing.
kid.
Yeah. Her
Who's
drunk-ass
randomly
kid.
cool and then
What a
randomly
jerk.
a jerk.
And then thieving.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but it's interesting because she had this look, and I think you said it, Quinn, that she looked like she was a Walking Dead.
She looked like a
She's a
walker in half of this
walker.
episode.
She looked
yeah.
like a walker. They really
Yeah.
did a good job with her makeup
Sucked
and
it back.
her whole thing. Yeah, everything like that. So, and then at the end, it seems like she handed power over to Rick, and Rick kind of took it as he always does. But what does that mean?
But
right?
did he really take it? He just looked kind of.
He didn't say no.
I don't know about this.
Right.
He's like, again, mother
Right.
trucker.
Well, but that's the kind of thing we were talking about. Is like, do we give Rick power?
Yeah.
yeah.
Because there was a bipartisan parliamentary system going on in Alexandria.
I have no idea what you're saying.
Is it the, what did you call it, the Rictatorship?
I just saw that online. Yeah, dictatorship.
The Rictatorship.
It is.
But it's just interesting because it's going to come to a head because he kind of has been angling as this guy is trying to teach them how to really survive in the world. And now Deanna finally said to him, okay, they need you. They don't need me. They need you, which I didn't actually agree with. I didn't like that because I think
I
they
agree
do need Deanna.
with you.
Yeah, I think they do need Deanna because right in the moment when she was about to fall apart and give up, she pulls out that map and she designs
Yeah.
the town. She saves the town in her mind. Rick is just security. Rick is just survival. She is the next step.
Yeah.
And they need her.
Well, she symbolizes hope for them.
Yeah.
And Rick doesn't really have that hold on them just yet. He has to do a little bit more convincing, just in my opinion. But yeah, speaking of that thing that she created, what
Yeah.
was that?
That was her
Those were, like,
mapping out the
town
future of
plans,
the town.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
How much
why
do you
hasn't
think-
she talked to them about it yet?
How much do you
Yeah.
think like a decent product would have paid for? Like, what if she writes Starbucks? Can we put a Starbucks in the corner? Can we put a Dunkin' Donuts? Can we pay for product placement?
Can we have a Disneyland
Yeah,
somewhere
yeah.
there? Is that possible? All right, well,
I would like to also talk about Maggie a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah. Sure.
Going back, didn't Gimple say that we would see parts of Glen? The
Yeah.
part of Glen is probably this baby.
oh,
that what he
yeah,
meant by
right.
that?
She's pregnant. Yes. which we got.
Gotcha.
I think, is that the first time any of us have heard that she's pregnant?
Yeah.
I feel
thought
like
that
they
she was
might have
pregnant.
said
It
it.
was kind of like alluded to, I feel like.
With the pregnancy
Because
test.
he didn't
Right.
want her to
With-
go.
Right, he didn't
that,
want to go
yeah.
out. They had that conversation.
But and I think that that's also a good thing for her because that's the one thing that's going to keep her sane. She'll have this
Yeah.
part of Glen
Yeah.
with her, and so she
She's-
won't, fall off the deep end.
For someone that has had so much loss in her life, Maggie is a pretty damn strong
Yeah.
character. You know,
She's
you don't see
steel.
her break as much as other people.
Yeah.
So
Well, you got to figure too, like we said before, there's a point in her head that's going off. It's like, am I the Black Widow? Everybody that comes near me is dying, so I have to be like, listen, I know I'm hot, but you should really.
I know I keep getting hotter every season.
She's like, I get hotter
I am
every
looking
season.
great right now. I understand that, like especially when I
Flawless
sling
skin.
this shotgun over my head and the machine gun over the other shoulder. I know I look good, but you should really think about it before you pursue me. Not that like we found each other on Tinder, but
Right.
mostly the fact that my dad died, my husband / boyfriend / lover and baby's daddy also died.
Wow.
I understand that you want to come and be a part of my life, but you may die.
Right.
I'm the Black
Yeah.
Widow, but obviously not in that context. But I'm just you get
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah. Because she's not killing these people.
No,
They're
no,
just
but
dying around her.
she's the
Yeah.
dark storm.
Yeah.
True.
What did you think about the whole situation with the doctor kissing Tara? Like what that whole kind of storyline as well?
I did predict that was going to happen.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure how I feel how it's relevant I don't know
Okay.
why they have to kiss to make her scared. You know, it just.
Okay.
But we'll see. If they have a love story, that's fine. But
Yeah.
if it's just a kiss, the end, let's move on, then why?
Because Tara lost her girlfriend, like a season ago?
Yeah.
As well, when they were getting out of that
Yeah.
town with
Yeah.
the governor and stuff. So, yeah, but wasn't that a motive? It might not have meant that they're going to get together. It might have just meant
Sometimes you got to kiss somebody.
sometimes you just need a connection. And she broke through
Yeah.
her defenses and
Yeah.
gave her
Well, she
life
gave
again,
the doctor
right?
hope.
Yeah.
And that was, I feel like that's their bond because the doctor's kind of, she doesn't know what the hell's
That
going on.
doctor's really
She's
annoying.
contemplating. Yeah, well, she's
I'm
like,
sorry.
Dr.
she's
Denise.
feeling a little bit hopeless. So I think that
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
maybe they'll have a relationship. I think Tara deserves a relationship.
She's reading a cookbook trying to save lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
But we all kind of reacted the same way when we saw them kiss. We were like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Like somebody, you just need loving at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
See, for me, I was like, I predicted it, but I don't know if it is relevant.
Matters.
Yeah.
I told you guys,
So we'll
but I
see.
don't really like
And
it.
she kind of tried to play. She kind of tried to play it off by saying, "Well, I kissed you because it's the end of the world." And then Tara
me and
wasn't
I'll kiss
having
you
it. Tara was
back.
like, "Oh no, it isn't the end of the world.
Oh, no, it
So if
ain't."
you're gonna kiss, we're gonna, you got to take responsibility for what you're
Sure.
doing here."
True.
Which I liked as well.
True.
2 moments of symbolism: the War and Peace. Logical because that's
Right.
the longest novel ever, so it's like that means you live longer. And also, I like the sewer because they had to go
Let's
deep
talk about the sewer.
inside
Yeah, let's talk about the
themselves
sewer.
to find their redemption.
That was hands down the most exciting moment
Yes,
for me.
yeah.
Sewer
The
zombies?
sewer zombies or
Yeah.
the guys at the end?
The sewer, the whole sewer trajectory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
Yeah.
Did he come
Big
out
fan.
of the sewer? That was my sewer zombie
happened?
impersonation. I was impersonating the sewer zombie.
Weren't we yelling that though? We were yelling that while we
We
were
were
watching.
scared.
Right.
We thought, because they kill off people like anything, and we
Yeah.
thought maybe Maggie would go away.
And Maggie didn't need, she was trying to be the independent woman,
Yeah.
the independent Maggie that she always is, going after, I don't need you, I don't need this. And thank God Aaron was there, because without Aaron, she would have gotten eaten by walkers, and Aaron came in and just,
And she was
Right.
still in denial about that too.
yeah.
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 Oh, what
I-
about? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I feel like this season, maybe more so, maybe I'm just noticing it more. They have really interesting walkers. I feel like they're like every episode. I feel like there's like a really cool looking or really disgusting looking walker. So,
So do
props
you
to
think that the walkers, do you think that that's just makeup and budget, or do you think that the walkers are just getting better?
I don't know. I just feel like I'm
combo.
making more of a visual note. I'm like, ooh, yeah, good
yeah.
walker. Like,
Yeah, because those
more
sewer
so.
walkers were awesome.
Those were
Yeah,
dope.
they
Yes,
are.
exactly.
Walkers were great.
Agreed.
All right. Now, what about Spencer's trajectory? What do you think is going to happen here? I think Kaori, you said something like, "That guy, he's going to kill somebody, or he's going to mess something up." Or was
Oh,
that
yeah,
you?
I
said that.
Yeah, Quinn said that. Okay.
He's
Quinn said
gonna,
that.
yeah, he's. Okay, I have Alexandrians are still complaining, defeatist attitude in my notes. They're still complaining, and they're still like, they're just taking the easy way out. Nobody wants to fight. I'm
Right.
kind of getting sick of their shit. Honestly, like every Alexandrian, I'm like, all right. Let me guess, you don't like it, and you want to give up.
Well, they've been. I mean, I think that's what that scene was with Deanna and her and her son Spencer when he said, "You lied to us. You made us believe that we were safe, and we were never safe. So there's that reaction. Now, I'm not saying he was right to say that to her, because she had to rely on her tools she knew as a senator, as a politician, to keep them together and create a community, because you're stronger as a community.
Yeah,
but in the long run, right, she didn't. Well, go ahead. What were we going to say?
No,
Kat?
I was going to say Spencer did pull the hypocrisy at its
He really
worst
did.
today.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it just really pissed me off. I
Well,
don't like you.
Let's get to you. You said
No more.
No more hot.
No
There's
more
something
hot.
about the like Deanna is awesome.
Yes,
She
She's
is.
badass.
She really did.
I like her a lot. She's been ever since she was introduced as a character. I'm like, I dig this woman. She's great. But everybody in her family, or that she's surrounded herself with in Alexandria, has been just just a drag.
Yeah.
Yes, they're
really
all
just
punks.
a drag.
They punk out every chance.
It's like the person you go to the party with. It's like, this party seems awesome. And they're like, I think I want to go.
Party sucks.
I don't like it here.
Well, Kaori, you were talking about earlier, like some of the things you didn't like about the episode. Did you want to touch on them, or did we already grab it?
I think like the episode had a lot of good parts and essential moments, but I felt that it was kind of choppy and put into this episode where
Oh,
it just
okay.
didn't flow well. The episode's pacing and flow didn't work very well for
You didn't
me.
feel the transition through the storylines was smooth. You felt it was
know,
just
like we
okay.
just got a snippet of a little bit of everything,
Yeah.
and
It's
there was
true,
no
we did.
development.
The episode
It's
was
true.
one long trailer.
Right. It
Yeah.
just,
Okay.
I felt that there was something lacking in terms of information. The
Yeah.
most we've gotten
Yeah.
out was Maggie's situation,
Right.
and that still wasn't very much or
Right.
very hefty.
No
so.
conclusion. Yeah, there's a lot of setups. There's like the setup for
Yeah.
the kids, setup for the doctor, the setup for Maggie, the setup for Deanna. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of setups.
You're like, and then?
yeah, now what?
And
Yeah.
then? Right.
Yeah.
So.
What did
No,
you think?
I'm like I said before, it's a palate cleanser. I said it last week with the Morgan episode. It was definitely like those first 3 episodes of the season
Yeah.
were die hard. And this last week was an origin story. This week is more of like it's an interlude.
Yeah.
You know, it's that musical 16 bar measure during karaoke, and you're not sure what to do with it, so you just kind of talk to the crowd.
Yeah.
So this is this set up for what is, because we only have 3 more episodes before the mid-season finale.
Right.
Like they said. I didn't dislike it. I just was waiting for something to happen, and I don't think
Yeah.
anything really did.
Yeah. Other than Maggie's,
Right.
acceptance of the possibility of the loss of Glen, that it wasn't really a big moment.
Was it an acceptance though? Because at the end of the episode, she wipes the name off.
But she's an
Right.
acceptance of the possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. She did that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to tell yourself that something is out there, and telling yourself, I guess, you erase.
Yeah, and you have to go deep inside.
Yeah,
yourself. That's
it's not a
true.
whiteboard. You just don't have an eraser. You got to get in there.
All right, I get
Did
it.
you
Go
have, do you have anything you didn't like?
I agree. I thought that there was a lot of setup and not a lot of conclusion, so that felt kind of unsatisfying for me. It was jumpy, but I think that this episode you needed that because we're so used to getting these, big, long, like drawn out. The last 3 episodes it's been all Morgan, then it was all Alexandria,
Yeah.
and then it was all them out or whatever. So we haven't been we haven't seen an episode with everybody.
Right.
So I feel like that was kind of, we're used to seeing like it in pieces, and now we're getting everybody together. So
Yeah, it's a
that's
good-
why it felt choppy for
That's
me,
a
I
good
think.
point you're saying, Quinn. Because, it feels like everyone's eventually getting to Alexandria.
I explained that
And then
awfully,
we're gonna-
just-
No, you're right.
No,
You
you're
got
right.
to it.
good.
You were
You're
spot
right.
on about it. I think what we're all thinking is the same thing of like, we've seen a bunch of vignettes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole
really-
season's been vignettes.
Yeah,
You're right.
the whole
Yeah.
season has been these standalone episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And next week looks like the same thing. Next
Yeah.
week
Just going to be
is a
Daryl
standalone.
and Abraham and Sasha, yeah.
Correct.
Well, it's what happens, I guess, with a show with a lot of characters. Eventually, you're gonna, they keep expanding. They walked
Right.
into a whole new community.
Mm-hmm.
They had to give them storylines and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
I mean, Rick has to go shoot Love Actually 2 at some point.
if they could get that whole cast together again now, that would be amazing.
I would
time.
watch that. I would totally watch that.
I loved the Jesse thing. Was great to see her embrace more of becoming almost like Carol Jr.
Yeah.
Like learning, like Maggie did. Like you have to get to that point where you accept that you have to kill when necessary,
Sure.
right?
No Carol. Sorry.
So then this is
Just
what I'm
noted
getting
that.
to.
Where is
This is
Carol?
what I'm
Where's Carol
getting to.
No, okay.
That was my negative about the show. I didn't like the fact that I don't know if any of you have noticed this, but look, once again, Maggie has to get saved by Aaron. Deanna has to hand over power to Rick. I think this whole concept that men have to constantly be the ones running shit or saving people. I'm tired of it. And that's why I liked Carol. That's why I love Carol so much, because she's a change. That's why I love Maggie so much. So with the Jesse thing, I was such a fan of that, because I'm like, good. They have to start. It has to be equal. And I don't want it always being deferring, or having to be saved. It's all bullshit.
It was
Maggie's
a great
tough
power
as
move
balls.
by Jesse, for sure.
Huh?
It was a great power move by Jesse. I love that.
The slow stab.
Yeah, the slow stab and then the turn and explain.
That was
Power
drama.
move would have been a very fast stab. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but still, there's
Slow
something
stab
to be
was
said
dramatic,
about
though.
She's like,
Speaking of stabbing,
Yes.
and I know you guys make fun of me every time we're watching the show, but there is something to be said that goes inside my brain of how do we kill more walkers and how do we do it without long spears?
Long spears.
Guys. Okay, here's the thing. Focus it.
hashtag long
you can
spears.
slow jam on me like a
Oh my
Sinead
God.
O'Connor music video.
Holy
They're on
crap.
top of those tower. Use long spears, either made from wood or metal, and just start stabbing zombies in the head and watch them pile up. It's really easy.
Now,
well, think about it. If they pile up, it becomes a zombie staircase for the walkers to go.
Yeah, and then it's a shorter stick.
no, but who's going to clean
Medium
up
spears.
all those bodies?
Short spears.
And the
Fire.
smell of those
Fire.
bodies. Yeah, but what's going to catch you? Catch the forest on fire, and that'll eventually jump into your town.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
We're just saying your theory needs some work.
yeah. Come on, long spears.
you know what?
Long
Let's
spears.
put a pin in it, work on it, and
Yes.
come back next week with
thanks,
a better.
John.
That's a back
All
burner
right,
idea. Definitely.
All right, let's get to the Twitter questions. I think we've talked about the show enough. Let's see what Twitter questions we got here. Dusty Pearson tweets us: what characters do you think are safe from being killed off, if any? Macuga, you want to take this one first?
I want to say just Rick, but I don't think that there's anybody at this point because they're not following the comics anymore.
Right.
No,
There
so
are
far
certain
off.
parts of the comics that they're definitely following, I guess, from all
Yeah,
the
they'll-
people that yell at me in YouTube comments.
Right.
But I don't think that anybody is safe if they're gonna follow the George R.R. Martin model, which keeps people watching Game of Thrones.
Right.
Nobody is safe on the show. If anybody is safe on the show, I feel like it's just Judith,
Huh.
The baby?
the baby.
Interesting.
It's just Judith.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think there is no one safe. I don't even think Rick Grimes is safe because they can really just pull a number on us. I think if I was to choose one person that was going to be safe other than Rick Grimes, because I feel that Daryl would survive more likely than Rick.
Look at Quinn. Just
That's what I was gonna say.
My girl.
Yes.
My girl.
Yeah. If anybody's safe, and Daryl's a super duper
Yeah.
fan favorite too. So that's like the whole if Daryl dies, we riot. Like Glen, yes, but
Yeah.
Daryl, I
I think people would be more hurt if Daryl passed on
Yep.
over Rick.
yeah.
Yeah, probably. You're
Yeah.
probably right.
Yeah.
I say Rick is safe.
I think Rick is safe as well.
I also think Carol is safe. You have to have the balance. I feel like you have to have the balance. Male, female, you have to have the balance.
I don't want to
feel
sound
like
like the jerk at the party, but Carol is not.
Yes, thank you. I'm
Carol
like,
is dead soon.
when Carol is leading them.
Like not
no.
not
With
that
a
I
long-
want her to
with a
die.
long
She's-
spear?
Listen, stop my long spear idea is a good friggin' idea.
we
guys.
just tore it to pieces. I don't know. Come back next week with it.
You get a long spear, and then you get the other spear to start shoving the other bodies into a pit, and then you fill the pit with tires and fire. and
How
then
are you going to make this spear? Where did you see a wood shop in this
There are
Alexandria?
trees
Yeah,
everywhere.
but you
He
need
did say
axes
that.
and a thing. You need to, and then you need to sand it. It's a lot of time, and then you got to fix
What
the
are they
blade.
doing? In
Well,
the
it's only
town?
been
All right, so
4
why
days.
is Carol dead?
Yeah, why is
Sorry.
Carol dead?
No. Okay, Carol's gonna listen. You can't go that far into the red without some sort of consequence. Like Carol's just walking down the street, clap, 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 clap.
She's ruthless.
She's
Yeah.
ruthless.
She is.
And
That's where she's
in
gonna live.
Alexandria and in this thing, that would work. That would totally. It should work in this world that we've created in the show.
Okay.
But in the mentality of the viewer and the writer and what the world is supposed to look like, Carol cannot survive.
Okay, I disagree with you completely, but
Okay,
I respect
cool,
your opinion.
cool.
I respect that. I think when she's leading them in season 8 after Rick's been killed, then we'll be.
okay.
So let's move on to the next
That's
Twitter
a
question.
sick
That's
one.
crazy.
Okay,
Hey,
let's
what's
talk
our
next
about
one?
that.
Okay, Cat. This is from Cat Owl. Oh, at the Rocha says and Josh McCoy. Here we go. Rick Tatership 2016
there
is
you go.
Rick the best leader for Alexandria? Quinn, since you love Rick so much, you
I
take this
love Rick. So I will always say yes. I think that he needs. He can do whatever he wants. I think that he needs Deanna. Together, I think they would make a perfect leader because she still has the humanity,
Yeah.
and he has survival skills, and he knows what needs to be done, and he can do make the tough decisions that I think she has a hard time with. So if they can somehow merge,
Yeah.
I think Alexandria has the possibility to survive.
Okay, Kaori.
Well, I think that Rick, when his mind is right, he can really lead effectively and beautifully, and people can trust him. But there are moments when his mind is not right.
Yeah.
When he messes up because Carl's been a bad boy or something.
Or like when he
you know?
accidentally pulls a gun on the entire town.
Yeah. So I just don't.
Awesome, yes.
I think Rick has the potential to be the ultimate leader, but he's not always in the right mindset.
Yeah.
True.
I don't think you always hire the bulldog to be the leader of the town. You know, you need the golden retriever to like be the smart one, the one that can like figure things out, but also be a badass. I don't know if it's Deanna either. I don't think it's Carol. I don't know who the leader of the town is, but I definitely don't think it's Solo Rick.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think it has to be Deanna, and Rick is the Dick Cheney. He is the vice president. He'll do the dirty work to make sure they survive and hides it all. And I'm not accusing. I don't want to get in trouble. But like, you know what I'm saying? It's just that kind of thing. Because Deanna is the level head, Rick is the security, and that's what he does best. He was always a cop. He wasn't the chief of police. He was a cop.
Yeah.
You know.
And the one person we always see in like every scene that sort of seems to be level-headed, though making mistakes here and there, but always seems to is Aaron. I don't understand. I mean, he could be a possible leader for the town.
Right.
He's trusted by both sides. He's level-headed. He always goes on the mission.
He's been out, so he knows
Correct.
what's out there.
He knows what's going on.
There's a reason they kept sending him out there to bring people.
Rick
trusted
likes
his
him.
ability.
Deanna likes him.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Okay. Do we have one more? Do we have one more Twitter question, or is it? Okay,
There
here we
it
go.
is.
From Ripcord, who's always retweeting us. Thank you.
Ripcord.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ripcord.
How will Maggie's character change after she finds out about Glen, and what will that mean for the group? Kaori, you want to take this one first?
I mean, I feel that she's already starting to evolve because she's starting to accept the fact that Glen might very well be lost.
Right.
I think the change is going to not really be so much because Glen's gone, but more because she has a child on the way. I think that's the bigger deal because now she has a new life that she has to really, really take care and nurture.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, again, you guys can me. Not all hope is lost for Glen, okay?
Jesus. Corey just threw herself right into the spinners.
Josh, what do you think? Or do you need to see the question again?
No, I
Okay.
got it. Thanks, guys. No, I mean, I don't know. Quinn, you take it.
All right.
Show the question again. I know that's what happened. I know that's what happened.
No, I get it.
How will
I know.
Maggie's character change after she finds out about Glen? And
we
what will
know
it
how
mean?
she's gonna. I
But
wanna
what's
see
it
what
going to mean
Quinn
for the
is-
group? Do you have an opinion?
I don't think Maggie's that influential for the group.
But the loss of Glen for the
there's your
group,
answer.
it will be a hit.
The
Glen
loss
was
of Glen
was
for
an
sure.
anchor for that entire group.
Right.
That's going to be hard. That's going to be a really tough scene. When
I think
I thought tonight was heartbreaking. Just right at the beginning when Rick mentions Glen and you see Maggie's face, that was pretty heartbreaking. Like just like she was so just like you know.
And what was Michonne telling her down there about?
She was
the
telling
Glen show?
that
She was saying that
Glen
you know,
was going to try to give a sign that he was okay or something.
Yeah.
right. And she was saying we had to leave her. We had to
That
leave
watch
him
is going to
behind.
come into play somehow. That little watch fob, right?
Right.
It seems
I just think that like we've seen that Maggie like falling off the deep end. She's
Yeah.
already realized that life is
Yeah.
you know, impermanent. So she's figured it out.
Maybe
Yeah.
Maggie the mom will be a different person.
Okay. I think Maggie has to survive the whole situation, and losing Glen, yes, okay, but because she has Glen's baby, what you were saying, she has more to take, something else to take care of. But I also think she will be that connection to replace Glen, and bring the community, like just replace Glen in that way.
So you think Maggie's going to be the totem?
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
I think eventually she will be, because she's had so much loss. I think people will like use her as the kind of person, because she's so survived all this loss and is still going. She serves as that kind of thing, like you can't quit. You can still survive this. Possibly. That's in my opinion.
No, it's good. I like that.
It's a couple of cents.
That's good.
Well, we want to thank you guys for sending those Twitter questions in. As you can see, we love debating them and talking about them and throwing in our opinions on it. So keep sending them in. Remember, #ColliderWalkingDead, and we'll get some new questions next week. Before we end the show, I just want to go around the table and see what you guys think might happen next week. Let's start with you, Quinn.
Oh,
Do you have
next
one
week.
prediction for like next week?
Oof, that's tough. I don't think we're gonna see anything about Glen.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. It looks like Daryl's getting himself into some trouble. I saw some blood. I saw him kind of running around a little bit. So I hope he's okay.
All right.
I fear for his safety.
That's really tough. I don't really have any predictions that
Or would you like to see happen?
I would like to see them come back into Alexandria. I mean, I want to see the whole crew reunited.
Yeah.
Right now, it feels like, I think you mentioned like Lord of the Rings, where we have different packs and we're just seeing little snippets of them. I want to see them all get back together, and it's going to be a glorious moment when that happens.
Right.
Well, I like that you like that, but there's no way to get into Alexandria now
I know.
because
That's true.
they're surrounded by 20 deep of walkers that could be eliminated by my long spear
Oh
idea.
my
guys.
God.
Okay, sorry. No, so
my God.
there was no prediction. This is a 3-part series of
Yeah.
standalones, right? So we only have 3 episodes left before the mid-season finale.
Right.
So next week is where are Sasha, Abraham, and Daryl? How are they going to get back to Alexandria
Right.
if they get back to Alexandria? And where are all those other like 10,000 walkers? It's basically a fish concert, right? And half of the fish concert moved and half of the other fish concert moved, and they're all being led, and now they're getting back to Alexandria for a 3-night stay of a fish concert. The bootlegs are going to be insanely good. I don't know. I don't think anybody's going to die. I just think it's an episode of like, how do we get back to Alexandria to make ourselves safe? How many walkers are we going to have to kill? And will it actually make sense? What happened to Rick?
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada. This is a very freeform episode next week.
Yeah.
Open the gate. Sorry.
Right. I want to see what happens with Sasha and Abraham in that car. And I also think the thing with Rosita and Spencer, they gave us a little seed of the possibility of those two being together.
I noticed
Yeah,
that
they
as well. A
did.
little bit of a
And I
love
think
connection.
we might see
Look,
a
lonely
furthering of
times.
that.
Lonely times.
Desperate
That's right.
times.
That's right. Well, Rosita was supposedly with Abraham, so
Yeah.
that's because they've had sex a few times. That was kind of their agreement, but it was never solidified
Their
in a
agreement?
relationship. Yeah, it was
True.
ways it is in the comic books.
True,
Okay,
true.
well, thanks everybody for watching us and listening to us go on about the show that we love so much. Remember what I said. Please always respond to us with hashtag Collider Walking Dead. We'll read your tweets. Comment on YouTube. Josh loves reading those, and
He does.
and we
Loves
really
Chris.
appreciate you guys taking the time to watch us and enjoy and comment. No matter what you have to say, we enjoy reading it. Thanks again, and we'll see you all next week.